So you are 50 or over and you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, or maybe you already have one, but you haven't done anything with it and you're thinking about revisiting it because, you've been hearing a lot about YouTube and YouTube being on easy mode and YouTube is the place to be now and yada, yada, yada. Well, let's talk about why you may want to reconsider and why perhaps you should not start a YouTube channel. I have 5 reasons for you. And while all of these are important, numbers 4 and 5, oof. Yeah, if that applies to you, you should probably consider doing something else. Unless you can overcome those things. So the first reason you may want to reconsider YouTube if you're 50 or over is a mindset thing. You think YouTube and possibly social media in general is for younger people. Younger as in, maybe Gen Z, millennials, people younger than you. And that would be a mistake because it's really not. Maybe at one time, social media was full of all these teeny boppers, so to speak, but that time is long gone. If you haven't noticed, a lot of Gen Xers, growing number of boomers, growing number of older millennials are using social media, and like a lot. So if you have this preconceived notion that YouTube is just for young people, or again, younger, because I'm 51 and I think that I'm still young, maybe not as young as I was 10 years ago or 15 years ago, but still young. If you think that younger people are the only ones on social media and on YouTube in particular, you would be very wrong. You can just look around. Just do a search for creators 50 and over. Do a search for creators 70 and over. There are some large channels, some growing channels, rapidly growing channels by creators who are in their 70s and 80s. So you talking about you too old? Mm-mm. But I'm just saying, I just gave you some examples. I gave you some hard data that you can confirm. But if you insist on believing that, well, then YouTube is not for you. Just give it up. Reason 2 is you have little to no patience. You want your channel to blow up overnight. And maybe not literally overnight, but after a few weeks, you don't have that many subscribers, you're not getting that many views, you're ready to throw in the towel. You're like, this is crap, this is BS. That's usually the way it goes. Unless you have a viral video, unless you are talking about something really controversial, something that really, really grabs attention, unless you're tapping into trends. Hear what I'm saying, because I'm saying more than I'm saying. Pay attention to what I'm saying. Unless you're doing any of that, it probably is going to take some time, and some time as in it could take months. For some people, it takes years. I'm just being honest with you. And to give you an example, I have been on YouTube since 2014 or 2015, one or the other. I would have to confirm. But 2014 or 2015. So we're talking 10 to 11 years. Now, granted, I haven't been really active and consistent that whole time frame. I absolutely have not. I have ghosted YouTube on more than one occasion because it's not the only thing I do. I run a consultancy, I speak, so I'm the type, I need to see some traction. I need to see some results. So I understand the impatience. I'm just saying you got to be able to manage your impatience. All that time on YouTube, guys, and I have never had more than 100 subscribers until this last year. And what happened in this last year is I came back to YouTube once again and got more consistent and started paying more attention to my channel, making some changes, learning more about YouTube, SEO, how it works, how the algorithms work, engaging with other YouTubers, started doing more of that, and I'm starting to see results. I am now around 200 subscribers. Now, to some of you, you hear that and you're like, big deal. Okay, I get it. It's not 2,000, it's not 20,000. But again, did you hear what I said? I've been on here for 10 years roughly and never had more than 100 subscribers. And in the last year, really in the last few months, that jumped to 200. Are you getting this? So just understand that may not be your path. It may happen faster than that for you. And I really hope that it does. But if not, and I'm not saying that you pour 10 years into something where that whole 10 years, if I would have been consistent on YouTube for 10 years, probably even for 5, and I didn't get better results than that, yeah, I would probably reconsider. And let me clarify something though. Not just being consistent, because we hear that all the time. Just be consistent, just be consistent. You need consistency. You have to be strategically consistent. You have to be consistent about the right things. So just posting, just putting out videos. If you're putting out trash, if you're putting out crap, if your content doesn't align with your brand, if it doesn't align with what you're talking about and what you want to be known for, it's not going to work. So you have to be consistent about the right things, and that means being strategic. So I'm not telling you to just, spend years and years and years on YouTube and you're not seeing any results. That's when you need to take a step back, reevaluate, reassess, see what you can do differently. However, just realize, at least typically, I'm not saying it's impossible, but typically your channel is not going to blow up in 2 weeks. It probably won't blow up in 2 months. Now you can get monetized sooner rather than later. That can happen. You could get monetized in 90 days. You could get monetized in 6 months. You could get monetized in 30 days. But just realize that you do need patience. And if you're not a patient person, just kind of inherently, like I'm not, you have to find a way to be more patient and to just realize, keep your eye focused on the goal. Stay focused on what it is you're wanting to happen and the reason why you're even doing a YouTube channel. I know for a lot of us, it has to do with money. We want to get monetized, but with most creators, it goes beyond that. It's also about having a message, having something of value that we want to share with other people and wanting to impact other people. So if that is what's really important, patience. Reason 3, you should not do YouTube if this is like your only plan for retirement. Like if YouTube is your retirement plan and that's it, you might want to reevaluate that. Now, I'm not saying that YouTube cannot be a part of your retirement plan. It absolutely can. But if you don't have any other retirement and you don't have any other plans to build a retirement plan, the danger in that is that you are putting that puts so much pressure on you, that puts so much pressure on YouTube to deliver. So I would say have YouTube be a part of a bigger retirement plan, because YouTube is certainly a way that you can generate revenue, you can generate income, it can be recurring income. But again, it requires some work. It's not completely passive. Some people, when they're talking about passive income, they include social media, and it's not completely passive because you are, at least if you're doing it as a content creator, if you are monetizing through the platform, like if you're looking to get monetized through YouTube's partner program, then that requires you to make content and continue making content. So while it can certainly generate some income for you, if that's the only thing you have going and your only plan for retirement, that could be problematic. Now, number 4, I told you, number 4 and number 5 are big. And I see this affecting a lot of my ladies because I know I'm a lady and I work with a lot of ladies. So, you're a perfectionist. You want things to be perfect, including your YouTube channel, including you. And if you're not perfect, you can do it. you have a problem. I don't look right. I hate my voice and blah, 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 blah. Girl. And if need be, dude, stop. All right. I know it's tough. I know it's tough to accept that you're not perfect. I know it's hard. It was hard for me. When I found out I was not perfect, it was like, okay, if I didn't tell y'all, I can be a little dramatic and I crack my own self up. But seriously, realize content creation does not have to be perfect. If content doesn't have to be perfect, that means you as the content creator does not have to be perfect. And I know, again, for my ladies and really even others in my generation, we tend to, we are big perfectionists. We want excellence. We want the best. I get it. But imperfection actually can work to your benefit because people tend to relate more to imperfection because they ain't perfect either. So they relate more, they resonate more with some imperfection. So it's okay for you to have some flaws. It's okay if you say the right or say the wrong thing. Sometimes it's okay if you don't look perfect. Now I think I look pretty good now. And that is also because I went to an event earlier. I was a speaker at an event and I still have on makeup and all of that. But you will see if you look at my YouTube channel, if you look at other places where I am, my TikTok, I'm on TikTok at Swag Strategist. I don't always look like this and on video. And it's okay. It's it's not the end of the world. So if you have this thing with perfection, this thing like obsession with perfection, you're going to have to break up with that for you to have a thriving channel on YouTube or really just about anywhere on social media. Just, it is what it is. Or you will drive yourself and other people around you crazy. And if that's the case, then again, that is just another reason for you just to not do it. And the fifth reason why you should reconsider doing a YouTube channel if you're 50 or over is if you take breaks, you take naps, you take walks, you take a lot of stuff except for action. And the right action, blind action, like action aligned with you having a successful YouTube channel. Because all those things I mentioned are not necessarily bad. It's not necessarily bad for you to take a walk or a nap. It's just not helping your YouTube channel. So you can watch plenty of videos. You can take courses. You can do webinars. You can get podcasts. You can get a lot of great information about YouTube and about doing well on YouTube. It is out there. A lot of it is on YouTube. But if you don't do anything with it, if you don't take action or you take very little action, like you post a video when you feel like it, maybe it's on Tuesday and then you don't post anymore for 3 weeks. And then that third week you come back and you post 2 videos. And so you feel really good about yourself. But then you look at those videos and, analyze them to death and they're not perfect. And so then you're like, oh, this is just not for me and I'm just not going to do it. And people are probably thinking I look crazy and I look and da 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 da. And notice that mindset and the stuff that you're saying that I just said you were saying, it's not really about your audience. That's all about you. And so that's ego and that's not helping your audience because it's about you, but you're supposed to be helping your audience, right? So I need you to take action. Need you to take aligned action. And frankly, that's not going to happen until you commit. Commitment is a big thing. We hear a lot about consistency. I talked about that earlier. Everybody is telling you be consistent, be more consistent, but you're not going to be consistent. You're not going to take consistent action. You're not going to be intentional until you get committed. So just remember that. So there you go. 5 reasons to reconsider starting or growing a YouTube channel if you're 50 or over. If any of that resonated with you, if that was helpful, then certainly let me know. Drop a comment. And if you are not already doing so, I invite you to follow or subscribe, because you may be seeing this on somewhere other than YouTube, so it might be a follow. But if you're seeing this on YouTube, by all means, I invite you to subscribe. See, I invited you. I didn't tell you, go subscribe, hit that subscribe button. I have said that before. I may say it again. But today, I'm inviting you to subscribe, especially if you are a content creator, if you are a woman business owner, if you are a service provider and you are looking to grow and monetize your brand by leveraging effective digital strategies. Well, then, hey, you're in the right place. All right, until next time, take care and take some action.